You ever notice how easy it is to feel like the world is falling apart? Open your phone, scroll for a bit. There's wars, political drama, disasters, and everybody's opinion screaming at you. Isn't that a lot sometimes to handle? But the truth is, most of us can't change 99% of the things we're consuming. Yet we let the noise invade our mindset, dictate our emotions, and in many ways, paralyze us. This doesn't mean you shouldn't care about the world, but it does mean that you need to know your role. You're not going to stop a war through an Instagram story, and you're not going to stop an economic crisis by arguing in the comment section. But what you can do is have control over your mindset, your work, and your relationships. And that in itself is a big enough responsibility. I'll be honest, I've caught myself doom scrolling more than I'd like to admit. Like an hour would pass by and I would just feel drained and angry at the world. But then I realized I didn't do anything in that time. No workout, no creative work, nothing to push me forward. And instead, I just outsourced my energy and emotions to events and people I have no control over. And that's where things start to get scary. Most people today can't sit still without distractions. We feel uneasy just by being at ease. Now add the compounding effect of AI-driven algorithms that learn your interests and feed you endless stimulation. You ever wonder why sometimes even being around your family or friends or a beautiful environment, it doesn't feel enough? Something feels missing. Well, it's not the people or the place, it's actually your brain. An overly stimulated brain doesn't feel satisfied anymore without constant, highly edited, fast-paced content. And if that content isn't positive or creative, it's harming you so deeply that the real world, the one you live in, it stops being enough. And that realization shook me, because if you let that carry on long enough, the ability to appreciate reality, to enjoy the simple moments, it slowly disappears. And this ties into the second point: you become what you consume. You've probably heard the saying that you're a product of the 5 friends you spend the most time with, but it's bigger than that. You're also a product of the content you scroll, the conversations you engage in, and the environments that you place yourself in. Psychologists call this the negativity bias. Our brains latch on to negative events more strongly than positive ones. Researchers like John Cacioppo ran studies that showed that our brains literally light up more in response to negative images than positive ones. And researchers have also found that it takes up to 3 positive experiences to outweigh just 1 negative experience. And that's how sticky negativity is. Think about it. You could be having an amazing day, but if just one person cut you off in traffic or said something rude, that's the part that you replay all night. So unless you consciously feed your brain positive inputs, the negative ones always dominate by default. That's why I keep bringing this back to mindset. Even with something as simple as this vlog series, I could have taken 2 different perspectives. The pessimistic side of me would have said, no one's watching. This thing eats up to 4 to 5 hours of my time each week. And I'm setting up expectations for myself that I might not be able to live by. But instead, I flipped that mindset and thought of it as a habit that forces me to reflect and to process my thoughts in a meaningful way. A long-term investment that compounds, not only for this channel, but in who I become by showing up. A practice of discipline, consistency, creativity that can prepare me for bigger expectations down the road. But most importantly, the ability to help someone who might be going through similar struggles as me. So what changed? Same situation, same effort, same work, but completely different experience. And that's all because of mindset. So here's the challenge I'd leave you with. For this week, notice your inputs. Notice the content you're consuming, the people you're talking to, and how you feel afterwards. Because if something leaves you drained, I'd suggest to cut it down. But if something leaves you inspired, then I'd suggest doubling it. Because over months and years, these small decisions stack up. They change your mindset and shape the person who you become. The world might be overwhelming, but your greatest lever isn't out there in politics or media. It's actually right here, in how you choose to live, in what you choose to consume. Because life is the same scene in front of all of us, but your mindset is the lens. With a dirty, scratched up lens, even the most beautiful view can look dull. But with a clean, sharply focused lens, it brings out details and colors you didn't even know were there. The world didn't change, your lens did. And I'll see you guys in the next one.